in the location now. How many people do you think can be able to have that kind of quality access? And what are some of the programs that are, in terms of formal education, that people can be able to go and access? I'll give him some time to breathe. Lerato, please.
I think at times there needs to be a lot more partnerships, right? Because the corporate environment or the business environment and academia need to kind of speak to each other a bit more so that the programs created by academia meet the needs of the business environment, I know recently there's been these trends of short courses and accelerated programs that essentially deal with needs that are more immediate, but they're not accessible to everybody, I see them a lot online. You'd have access to Harvard, Oxford, and those things. And the fees are excessive, right? So local institutions like Mateo TVET, like your CUT, like your UOFs, need to be more in tune with those things. Assess the needs in the environment immediate to them and structure programs that meet those needs.
In terms of formal education, what would you think are programs for entrepreneurs that are sitting on the audience, some of the delegates that might be interested to get involved in? What do you think are some of the programs? You mentioned a bit Oxford. Is there a specific program that you've
okay, so from my exposure to the SMMEs, some issues that come up quite often is how to manage their finances, how to deal with the administration, I know courses of that nature are there. Some people deal with tenders and those things, so they need to understand how to manage a project. So some courses around those things are there. So I think basically those three main things are what I come across most often.
Okay. Musila, what would you say is for you?
I think the academics are not entrepreneurs. Because really, guys, do you think we have time to be sitting in at a university for 3 years? We don't have time for that. So you need to choose what works for you because, first of all, what is an entrepreneur? We create things. So I'm not going to be sitting there doing an agricultural course. I'm not a farmer. I'm in farming. I'm an entrepreneur. So I don't need to know everything that happens on my farm. I don't need to know science of the farm. I just need to be in my business, understand how my business works, and then get the right employees that will then do those things. Because if I have to know financial accounting, I have to know the legals, I have to know artificial insemination, I have to know, it never works. So those short courses that we then go into to take are the ones that then help us. When you say to me as a financial accountant that here are your financials, you can scrutinize them. You don't have to know go into detail and be able to do your own financial models and do your own financials and your own bookkeeping. You must just know what this means. So that you can get from a short course. Yeah. So I think the right employees, surrounding yourself with the right employees, then when as an entrepreneur, leadership for me is more important. Leadership for me, take your leadership courses more importantly than anything else. Then you can lead the team of experts. All these graduates can then fall under your business and then you can guide them into delivering what you need for your business.
Sure. Thank you for that input. Laruna, what would you say? She mentioned a bit about entrepreneurship. What would you say an entrepreneur is? You probably meet different types of entrepreneurs. The American books, the E-Myth, there's a lot of entrepreneurship books that we read from America that are written by Americans. And I think we need to do a bit of fine-tuning in terms of localization, understanding entrepreneurship from the grassroots level, or to bring it back to Free State or Bloemfontein or South Africa. I think when you look at those entrepreneurship books that are written by Americans, and I read most of them. I read your Ray Dalios and so on. But it's more at 40,000 feet above sea level. It's too high. You're trying to come and teach to people that are in the townships that are actually eager just to want to start their business. What would you say entrepreneurship is to you?
I think it's someone angry and fed up with a particular situation.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
I think Miles Monroe was someone who said that about a leader. A leader will start off angry because there is that space where there is something that is bothering you.
Yeah.
You know, I want to try and simplify it. There's something that is bothering you and you feel that it can be done better, enhanced, or that something can be introduced. So from having spent a lot of time with SMMEs and being in the space as a director myself, I'd say it's someone who has a lot of empathy because you must understand who you are trying to serve first. And with empathy, you are able to understand and create solutions. So an entrepreneur is someone who empathizes with a situation which might not be conducive for that particular person or a status that can be enhanced and tries to find a solution to that to bring a better outcome or a better lived experience. And they do this through the process of making decisions. And it goes back to the core of our conversation, which is learning. Because in short, an entrepreneur is someone who makes decisions every day. You can look at a KFC and assume it's a well-oiled machine. But the manager of the store has to deal with deliveries being on time, having enough stock, how much stock to order, how much food to produce, and all of these logistics. So an entrepreneur is someone who consistently makes decisions. And I want to touch on this before I let go. At the center, at the Motheo TVET Center for Entrepreneurship, we emphasize on a 60-40 approach to business development, which is to say 60% of what you're doing should be learning. 40% of what you're doing, it should be working. Because we have come to understand that you are constantly making decisions as directors. And if you can improve on the quality of the decisions you make through learning, you are better able to elevate and grow your business. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Laruna, for that input. I know some of their programs at Motheo TVET College, they were interacting with the president recently, and they're also quite involved with the skills development program. And when it comes to entrepreneurship, we sort of are hitting a wall. The people that are creating content for entrepreneurs, it seems like they're not getting it through. What do you think it's the challenge, Lerato? You think people that are writing the books that entrepreneur reads, they're not entrepreneurs themselves?
Look, I'll go back to what I said earlier. You need to engage your audience. I can't write a book for somebody if I don't understand who they are, what they need, you know? So there needs to be more engagement in terms of that. You can be an entrepreneur, but your experience might not be my experience, right? So the broader the engagement, the better the content. That's what I think.
Do you think the content that's been written over the years, each one of us here, you probably know someone who started a business, or you have a cousin, an aunt, or a mother, or a father that's already running a business. It's not an unusual journey to take today to be an entrepreneur. But the learning of how to become an entrepreneur and be an entrepreneur that offers value to communities, we're still a bit shaky with it. We have a lot of people that have a lot of MBAs, but still are not able to solve problems. What do you think is the issue? Marcela?
I think we want to walk other people's journeys. Because my challenges may not be your challenges. And yes, it's to read and take certain things you can take and apply. But if you run your business over the years, your business will teach you something daily.
Yeah.
So if you pay attention to your own business and you fix here and there, and if you're stuck, then go to someone or read a book. And I know I've got a problem with procrastination. So, and trust me, I've read 1,000 books about procrastination. I still procrastinate. So I've decided, even when I'm in my studies, I work best under pressure, and it works for me. So leave me alone, you know. So that's for me. You need to read your own book, write your own book, read your own business, you know. So education is good, guys, but study your business, your own business, and understand your own business. And for me also, this thing of entrepreneurship, Vusi is coming tomorrow. I don't know if he's going to touch on this, but there's a question of, are you self-employed or are you an entrepreneur? Do you even know the difference? And I can safely say to the people who are sitting here that they are entrepreneurs. Because self-employed people can't leave their businesses. Because when they leave their business, they must shut down. So well done to all of you entrepreneurs sitting here right now. So once you then know how to leave your business running, and you are sitting here learning, you've taken the right step. You're doing something right in your business. Close your shop today. Go back and evaluate what you've been doing, and do something different.
Yeah. Basically, sometimes I know you need to, as an entrepreneur, because sometimes you don't have employees. You have to be the guy that's sweeping. Sometimes you have to be the manager that's hiring the guys that are coming in. Sometimes you have to be the entrepreneur that casts the vision and the direction of where the company is going. Sometimes you have to be the guy that goes. You have to be the guy that goes and sells the idea. And just the last question before we can move, I can take a few questions from the floor. How does success as an entrepreneur look like for you, Laruna? I believe entrepreneurship and success for each one of us is different. It's like a fingerprint. Success is where you have started and where you are currently. Or should I say, what you have started with and where you are currently. That is success for me. And I would love to have an understanding what you have about success.
Thank you for that question. And it's a very important question. From my view, I think there are two areas that we need to understand that is what society sees as success. You know, so I'd say from an internal point of view, I remember the year is 2015, and I'm selling water. I was based in Joburg, and so normally when you selling water,